everyone, Meteorologist here, Tuttle here with you. It is 10 o'clock and it's past my bedtime. I've been busy. I've had to decided to cook some chicken. First I had to go to the gym, then I had to do some laundry, then I had to cook some chicken, and then I had to do some more laundry, and then I had to do, I don't know what I was doing, working, and I had to look at some data, so here we are. So sorry for the tardiness. I normally try to do this around 9:30 when the data starts coming in, but things happen. So let's get on with it, but I'm going to make this one kind of short here for tonight because I know it's late. The news is on. You might be wanting to watch the news. I don't know why. I don't watch the news. But I'm going to give you your weather for those that are interested. So thanks for joining me. So let's get on the details, right? All right, let's see. First thing I want to show you is the severe weather threat for Saturday. So I want you to know the Weather Service is on board with very large hail as a potential out here into the yellow shading. Now, this is an early preliminary thing. It'll change. More than likely, the higher risk zone will be here for Saturday evening and then, Saturday night kind of a deal. And then out here in southwest Oklahoma, probably the secondary region. We'll get to that here in a minute, but this will fine tune. But the deal is, just let you know, is that they're also watching for large hail. Now, when they say very large hail, they basically mean giant hail. We're talking softball or larger, and yes, that's where that 3-inch plus outline comes from on the hail sizes. Now, the Storm Prediction Center is kind of mimicking this. They kind of go in tandem typically, but they're focused down here. And I shared this wording on my weather page earlier as it talks about the instability coming down into the Texas and Oklahoma border with Cape values around 5,000 joules per kilogram, et cetera, et cetera. So in that case, you'd have some slow-moving supercells with very large hail in excess of 3 inches in diameter. Certainly possible. So again, that's the big deal. So that's kind of why I was talking about this a few days ago with my blog. And so now let's get into what the outcome looks like it's going to be. So first off, I'll take you to my favorite model, the tech model. It does hold those showers and storms out there tonight, moving into southwest Oklahoma, and then kind of falling apart quite a bit compared to what they are currently right now. Now, we also see a secondary line of showers and storms that form here, kind of along the I-35 corridor, and then moving through Tulsa into the late night, early morning stage. Now, some of these might actually have some damaging wind with them overnight because of some dry air down below. We'll show you that here in a second, but that'll move on through for your morning commute. Still some lingering showers out there across southern and southeastern Oklahoma. And then we'll clear things out. And then on Friday, we have some stuff moving into southwestern Oklahoma in the afternoon and evening hours. Those looks like they'll try to fall apart once they move into central Oklahoma around midnight. And then we'll keep things quiet. And then it looks like on, let's see, this is for the 15th. So this is on Saturday. So Saturday, it's got some of those storms we talked about bubbling up here in the southwest Oklahoma. And that other batch out here to the west, which will eventually move east. So why are the models trying to produce storms down here? Well, and they don't last a whole lot. I mean, of time. They're basically a 4-hour window, and they start to die out as we head toward 9 and 10 o'clock. We'll probably get some more developed later on. We'll get to that here in a second as well. But the reason why they're trying to focus it down here in southwest Oklahoma is because of a dryline surge. And we're going to have a very strong cap on Saturday. So what the model's indicating is that we're going to try to get a mesolow form out here with a dryline bulge that comes in like this. And on a dryline bulge in this area, this is a hot zone where you typically try to break the cap, and you'll get some storms that develop. So that's why that's a favorite area. The other favorite area is up along a cold front region up here, along with the weaker cap. So those are the two main plays for Saturday afternoon and in the evening hours. Then we'll go on further from there. Speaking of which, here's a bigger view of that. So storms tonight in the southwest Oklahoma. You can see that scattering of stuff that develops along the I-35 corridor here, and then on into Tulsa from northeast Oklahoma. And this is in the late night, early morning hours. So yes, this could be affecting your drive time or just ending as you hit the road. It's going to be a very close call on that. But that'll be moving on out, and then we'll look for, I said, the next round to try to fall apart here into Friday night time period. So kind of similar to the other model I showed you, which was similar to the forecast I gave you at lunchtime today. And then on Saturday, it's got the same kind of idea. Storms here in southwest Oklahoma and up into the Panhandle, and then those kind of redevelop and intensify into Saturday night, early Sunday morning across central Oklahoma. And that's a mess right there. So here's the deal. You want these storms to hit you in the late overnight, early morning hours, just because the potential there is for some smaller hail. Not always, but sometimes. For example, in that cluster of storms there for Sunday morning, I just want to show you the analogs for that because they're going to be elevated. In other words, not root in the boundary layer, but they're going to be just aloft. So there's plenty of instability. Cape values overnight on Sunday are actually at the lowest 3,000 joules and sometimes up around 4,000 or so. So what that gives for the significant hail analogs is up around 4.5 inches in diameter. So again, potential's there for some nasty hail this weekend. So don't get too lost in the specifics, on exactly where and exactly time. Just know if you're going to get a strong thunderstorm, you're going to have to deal with some hail. The question, of course, will be how big. So there might be, quite a bit of action for the roofers out there this weekend. So don't be surprised if those door-to-door knock on your door will replace your roof. I'm going to advise you not to go with those guys. I'm going to advise you to go with some guys local that have done this for a long time and they have a solid track record. You get what you pay for, and these fly-by-night guys will take advantage of you, do a bad job. You'll never know because you're not a roofer. I'm just giving you a little friendly advice. Even if it costs you just a little bit more, go local. That's anywhere over the U.S., not just here in Oklahoma. Okay, so now I'm done preaching to you. What else did I want to show you? Let's see. I think, what did I want to show you? Maybe it was this model. I think it was a very similar outcome to the ones I just showed you before. Storms in southwest Oklahoma. This is a close-up view of it. Again, I-35 here in Crossroads, central Oklahoma. So Oklahoma City's right here, Tulsa's right here, so make sure you learn your geography. But it's got those storms bubbling up from basically the metro north and east, in the late night hours after midnight, and then moving to the east with time in the early morning hours. So that's kind of the general consensus here of how things should evolve over the next few days. Let's see if there's anything else I want to tell you. Like I said, it's going to be kind of short tonight because, I think that's kind of how I wanted it. So here's the potential outcome also for, Saturday. So this kind of jives. Every month I've seen jives all the same story. So there's no change here in the forecast. So cluster down here in southwest, cluster up here in northwest. And then what happens is overnight for Saturday night, this cluster up here, because there's just really heavy rainfall, a lot of heavy rain and hail with that, even in the overnight hours. And that comes into Sunday morning. We start that lingering stuff here, and here's Sunday afternoon over central Oklahoma, and south central Oklahoma for Sunday afternoon. The Sunday is more of a washout day of the two. In other words, with a strong cap in place on Saturday, get things done on Saturday, because on Sunday, depending on how things go Saturday night across the state is how things will go Sunday. It could just be a saying, and my brain cells stopped working. Smorgasbord is what I was going to go with. Why did I come up with smorgasbord? I have no idea. Probably because I'm 45 years old and I heard that from somewhere. When I was a kid, I don't know. Anyway, I digress, like I normally do. And then on Monday, Tuesday, look at the rain just kind of lingering across state. Wednesday, Thursday, what do we got? Friday? There we go. Still some stuff on Friday. What about next weekend? Any hope? There's Saturday. No, still got some storms. Hey, Sunday might look dry. So, bottom line is, just prepare for the rain. It's not going to end anytime soon. Total precip amounts, as I mentioned in the blog and earlier, depending on which model you pick and which time frame, just for the end of next week. You have these little hot spots in here of brown, which is 5 inches. Most of them are 2 to 4 and all the red, orange colors. So just keep in mind the models will never be able to be exact with these. It's just a ballpark estimate, and they'll never get the convective generated very micro scale events as far as flash flooding goes. So they'll never be able to pick up some spot that's going to get 8 inches of rain. Just not going to happen. They don't have the resolution for that. But it just gives you a general idea. We're going to have a lot of rain. You're going to have to deal with some flash flooding with some of this stuff. That's it. I'm done. That's all I have for you. That's pretty quick. Got that out and undone in 8 minutes? And really, I could have ended it at 5. And I think I talked 2 minutes in addition to that. So that was really a 4-minute forecast. Almost like I was back on television. You usually get 3 minutes and 30 seconds in TV, unless the producer wants you to stretch. And they're like, we got nothing to say. Our news story was killed. Can you tap dance a little bit longer? Yeah, tap dance all day long. So if you can talk, you can do television. All right, so let me jump into my patrons real quick. See if you guys had any quick questions for me. They're watching from the closed group patron page. You can get access to this through joining as a subscriber for this broadcast. And matter of fact, let me do that here real quick. Copy, paste. There, just pasted the link. So you can join in and pin that. Can I pin it? Pinned. So now you should pop up there on your phone. So that's why you can easily go to support me. And what's going to happen here, I just need about 500 more of you to do so. And then I'm going to turn off the ads on my weather app. So that way you don't have to be annoyed by those anymore. So, because I'll get the funding the other way. So I'm not greedy, I just want to pay for it. So if you guys can do that for me, scratch my back, I'm going to scratch yours. I'm going to give you a good back scratch, guarantee. I give the best back scratches, seriously, because I know how good they feel. I'm telling you, don't miss out. All right, so back to the questions here. Where was I? Again, sidetracked, squirrel. I am ready for summertime. Dion, I hear you. I'm ready for this rain to come to an end for a little bit. I know, right? The news is always overrated, Kimberly. Let's see. Lauren is late to the party. No, Lauren. So you'll be fine. Don't worry about that stuff down there until Saturday evening. Let's see. All right, I'm skimming through. By the way, I can't read you guys' comments or questions while I'm doing the weather part of it. It's usually at the end. So if you have anything you want to ask me, hold off, and I'll try to get to it. I can only answer so many, though. We are having a small outside party for my husband during that time. Lauren, I got you. So you're, what's it, Friday around 4 to 6. So you should be good. Those storms wouldn't even come in until after midnight if they still hold together. All right, back to the main page. Let me scroll up real quick. Smorgasbord, that's right. Charlotte's Web. That's where it came from. I knew it came from somewhere. So we had to read that stuff back when I was a kid. I don't know what kids read nowadays. They probably don't read anything. Or if they do what they do read, I don't want to know about it. All right. Because everything's offensive, so you can't read anything anymore. Oh, I'll be so glad we're all officially offended so we can all move on. Don't get me started. This is a weather broadcast. Okay. Please tell this grandma that Sunday from 8 to 10 is good for the concert. No, I'm sorry, Grandma. I can't promise you that. Brandon, some New Mexico storms are dropping some big hail. You got that right. So you're, I love back scratches, Phyllis. So you're going, okay, Aaron, so what's the deal? Why is it that you can predict large, giant hail 5 days away? Or whatever the case may be. So you have to realize in June, especially, June is our hail month. And not only across Oklahoma, but Kansas, Nebraska, and Texas, New Mexico. Only because typically we finally have the juice, and the juice being very deep moisture of low to mid 70s. And we have the heat finally, 80s and 90s. And that gives those CAPE values, which is a measure of just basically potential energy in the atmosphere, to get up around the 5, 6, 7,000 joules per kilogram. And that's ridiculous. That gets those storms super tall. And we're talking 60,000 feet plus in altitude with some very strong updraft potential, very good lapse rates. And that just basically means a large hail anytime. So you get a storm that breaks the cap, that's what you're going to deal with. So that's kind of how it's almost an easy call. It's just, you get down the minutia as you get closer. You can fine tune timing, hopefully. Sometimes in the summer you can't, but and even the general area. Instead of being so specific like it can be in the springtime, it gets more broad because stuff can just pop up or continue overnight, die out, redevelop. It's a mess, but it is what it is. So Elizabeth is pumping the patron community. Awesome. You tell them, girl. All right. Diane's offended by this weather forecast. Jody, you're late. Oh my goodness. Where's my O face? Can't believe you Canadians. You're probably too busy watching your game up there, watching y'all win, taking the NBA championship away from the Americans. What's up with that? Think y'all can have hockey. We get NBA. Get it straight. All right. I'm on a roll here tonight. Okay, so that's it. I skimmed through a few of your comments, and I'm going to get out of here. It's 10:15, and I got some things I still got to do. I got a load of laundry to finish up. And I got to fold it or just put it somewhere. So I just stare at it for a few days and then eventually get around to it. So now it's like some of you do not. Okay, look. Let me tell you. Let me clarify. When I say put it somewhere, it's like laid out. Like it's not a ball of clothes. It's like laid out flat, like smooth, so it doesn't get all wrinkled. And I just take like the stack. I just lift it off the bed and I put it like on the chair next to it. And then I go to sleep and I bring it back on the bed and then I'm gonna do it and then I get sidetracked and I pick it back up and I put it on the chair again. Then eventually I get it and I fixed it or I put it away, put it up. So, but what some of you do is y'all just throw it on the floor in all these piles. That's gross. And then some of you can't even figure out where your clean pile is and your dirty pile. And that's just disgusting. So I'm just being honest with you. That's you need to change in your life. So, I mean, doing it my way is bad enough, but just don't do it that way, because that way is just gross. All right, that's my soapbox. I'm out of here. I've rambled on how long. I'm probably talking to myself. Okay, you guys have a great night, and we'll talk again. Probably maybe a Facebook Live tomorrow. I might feel frisky at lunchtime, so if it's so, join me then. It's about 12 o'clock. Usually when I do those, or a few minutes before. And then Friday night I may do one if I'm feeling super frisky. And then Saturday, well, of course I'll do one Saturday because Saturday's showtime. So we'll see if the cap breaks, where it's going to happen, and where the storms will be, and all that jazz. So, guys, have a great one. Talk soon. Thanks for your patronage. Bye.